I don't want you getting into trouble for me. I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where has that damned poltergeist got to? I know just the spell to repair this armor.
Big's late wife Miriam spent years searching for a type of ancient magic, one that seemed to have been lost to time, and one that belonged to a very select few. Hogwarts was built on this ancient magic, so it must be to do with that in some capacity. Miriam's life was based on searching for this ancient magic, and she wanted to know why it disappeared, as it was totally unexplained right now. Fig is unsure as to why
should use
and how
repair
she
on
got
this
possession of
broken
the
armor.
portkey, but he's certain that it's related to his search. So we push forward and enter the cliffside, and Fig uses the repairer spell to repair the bridge that was once here, affirming further that someone built this place for a reason, and we were meant to find it here. We walk into the ruins and do a bit of searching around, and suddenly we come across another symbol, like earlier, but this time it was on the wall. But there looks to also be a room behind it, one that only we can see.
I should use repair on this broken armor.
On the other side of the wall, so our character touches it, and then behind us is something extremely unexpected. The rooms have almost flipped around, and we're now on the other side of this wall with no explanation as to how. And when we turn around, we see an altar right in front of us, and there on top of it is a goblin sleeping behind a book. We walk towards it, and Fig wakes the goblin and stares over us, stating that
I should use repair on this broken armor.
Do you want to ace your paper? Download Grammarly. Are you? Me? Yeah, you in 3 months. See,
just a moment. It turns out that we're in Gringotts Wizarding Bank, and we're after vault number 12, so we jump into the cart and make our way down the tracks. The portkey that we came in possession of was then given to the goblin at the bank.
I should use repair
Whilst
on
taking
this
our journey
broken
down to
armor.
vault 12 on the cart, the banker says that the private and hidden vaults are very, very rare. You need to be of great importance, wealth, or both to be given access to even one of these vaults. So it begs the question, what is this key for? Whose key is it? And why is this vault 12 at the very bottom and heavily secured? However, when we reach the bottom and go through security checks, our character notices that the security goblin is wearing a badge with the same glowing mark that the dragon was wearing, but it attacked us on the carriage. However, we push forward and finally reach our destination, Vault 12. This goblin has been here for centuries and never has seen anyone go in or have access to Vault 12. So this is a momentous occasion for this goblin. The goblin opens Vault 12 with a portkey, and we walk inside to see what's there. However, the goblin was under strict instructions to let the people into Vault 12 and then shut the door straight behind them.
I should use repair on this broken armor.
The instructions for Vault 12 indicate that I am to grant access to the Hogwarts key and then close the door.
So we begin to search this room using the spell called Revelio, and it reveals a doorway in front of us. So we walk through this doorway. However, as we interact, we see this isn't an ordinary vault, but we apparently need to earn our way out of it. We move forward and see
should
the
use
glowing light,
repair
but this
on
time
this
it was on
broken
the
armor.
floor. When we interacted with it, it changed the floor and revealed a glowing statue that only we could see. We interact with the statue and cast the spell Lumos to position the reflection in just the right way to match the above statue. However, suddenly, a bunch of knights came out of nowhere and started attacking us and Fig. We finally take them out and then the room just goes black. However, when we cast Lumos, Fig was gone and we were all alone. We keep pushing forward and eventually
I should
a
use
doorway
repair
appeared.
on this broken
We
armor.
walked through the newly formed doorway, and in the centre of the room was a basin of some sort, with something floating at the centre. Reach out and grab the object, and suddenly a door opens behind us, and it was Fig. We showed Fig what we found, and the artifact would seem floating above this basin. However, Fig tells us that this is no ordinary basin, but it's actually called a pensive, and this is used for viewing memories of the past.
I should use repair on this broken armor.
Sort, which Fig poured into the pensive, and we're able to see its past. Follow my lead.
I should use repair on this broken armor.
All in place. The book is working. Perhaps too well. I wonder if the path you've created may be impossible to follow. It will only be impossible for one who cannot see traces of ancient magic as I can. Your ability to see whatever cannot be not enough. We are entrusted to one rank from this path with powerful secrets, with knowledge others will use anything to obtain. Yes, and if we are correct, Charles, the ritual wizard who completes the trial to have proven himself worthy of that knowledge, and the responsibility that accompanies it. We've done all that we can.
The memory shows a wizard named Charles Rookwood and another named Percival Rackham. Percival was able to see this ancient magic, and it seems they created some sort of pathway for another wizard to follow. One that also see this ancient magic. The knowledge they hold in this path was said to contain a powerful secret, one that, if fallen into the wrong hands, could be devastating for the world. The witch or wizard that completed trials by these wizards would gain the right to know this information. The glow surrounding them and these objects is traces of ancient magic, the magic that Miriam believed that had always existed, but could never see it herself. Miriam and George died searching for this magic and its meaning, and we might be the key to this. However, suddenly, we hear something in the distance. It was Ramrock.
Who were they?
I don't know, but first, who's the speaking there?
I was right. Ranrock.
Repair.
My reputation. I was beginning to think no one was ever going to visit Rackham's Woods. And why was that? No need for that. Just easy way around here. Let bygone be bygone.
Ramrock was waiting for this day for a very long time, for people to access Vault 12.
At the key to the vault.
We see what kind of person Ramrock is from the very beginning here, as he picks up the goblin that granted us access to the vault, and killed him for not letting him in sooner. A goblin killing his own kind, calling him a traitor. This guy has no remorse. Fig attacks Ramrock with his wand, and he somehow evades it. However, suddenly out of nowhere, a large stone knight rises from the depths of the room and starts to attack us, almost like a built-in defense mechanism left by the owner. This goblin was much more powerful than the rest, with Fig's magic completely unaffecting him. However, we finally found a way out, and it was here that it seems that Charles Rookwood and Percival Rackham wanted us to end doing our part.
I've never seen so powerful a goblin.
Lumos.
Totally unaffected by my magic.
Where are we?
It can't be. Path to both.
There must be more to this one.
Right outside Hogwarts. We finally enter Hogwarts after what was a very long and tedious journey and walk into the Great Hall.
Where might this lead?
We have missed the sorting ceremony. I'm no expert, but that seems more appropriate. Now, I need to study this locket as soon as I can, but first I must contact the ministry. They need to know what happened to George and Wanda Braddock. For the moment, I ask that you keep all that's happening this evening between you and me, of course. Thank you. Ready for the sorting ceremony?
Revelio.
Here we meet Phineas Nigellus Black.
Not surprising. Cards at the ready.
Headmaster of Hogwarts, Wizardry.
Incendio.
If you're lucky, we might still be able to get you sorted this evening. I'll be in touch.
The sorting ceremony was over and we were very late to it, of course, but we make our way to the Great Hall and get sorted into our house. We take a seat, speak with the sorting hat, and personally for me, sorted into the new house. Better be Gryffindor!
Revelio.
However, due to an injury in the last season's Quidditch final, this year's game has been cancelled.
Accio. Lumos. Accio. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Levioso.
I'm sure you all have plenty to do before class begins.
Revelio.
Personally, I thought this was a really good canon way of getting Quidditch out of Hogwarts Legacy. It's great because throughout the other characters in the game fight against the decision of this, and the other characters in the game want Quidditch to be there, almost like the community, whereas Black is like the characters and saying, no Quidditch, so no, just a quick touch there. It was also here that we met Professor Matilda Weasley, and she shows us to our common room. We walk up to the common room in the singing lady
This must be the
portrait,
way forward,
say our
but to
password,
where?
wrap our domain, and walk into the room to get some sleep. We eventually wake and make our way outside the common room to meet Professor Weasley. As a fifth-year student, it's very unexpected for us to join so late on, almost unheard of for the many people already. So in order for us to
Nearly there.
to school,
Best keep my wits about me.
Revelio. Professor Weasley and the board advised that we should use a book. One that will keep track of everything that we learn, and this is called our field guide. This will give us the best chance possible to complete our OWLs or ordinary wizarding level exams at the end of the year. As we move throughout the castle with Professor Weasley, we learn that today we're going to be attending our first Defense Against the Dark Arts and a Charms class. However, during our conversation with Professor Weasley, there walks in Professor Fig. Professor Weasley walks off and Fig tells us to ensure that we leave everything that happened yesterday with the court key and Gringotts between us for now. until we know more around what happened, as it could attract some unnecessary attention from the likes of Professor Black and Professor Weasley. I think we'll go away and do some research on everything that happened the other day, whilst we go to our 2 classes and get started. So we make our way there, and we enter the classroom, and we see 2 students battling it out.
Going go.
Professor Hackett!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull.
With Professor Hecat being the leader of this class. It was in this class that we learned Leviosa and a dude, our classmate, Sebastian Sallow, and Hecat was very pleased with our performance. The class was dismissed by the professor, and we went over to speak with Sebastian Sallow, the one that we duelled. He tells us about an unofficial dueling club, and that there is a forbidden part of the library as well that has some really interesting information within. If we ever wanted to go give it an explore, to let him know. And this is where we start to see the more darker side of the Hogwarts Legacy game. Anyway, we have another class to attend today, and that's the Charms class. So we make our way across the castle and walk into the classroom, and as we do, we see a student named Natty. She was very receptive, and she was essentially the first person we spoke to and the first friend that we made. So we sat next to her. In this class, we learned the spell Accio, allowing us to pull objects towards us. Now that we've completed our first 2 classes, Professor Weasley wanted to see us in her office, and as we walk in, we see an elf beside us until it disappeared. After Professor Weasley, we need to know how to ultimate get ourselves
Accio. Incendio.
And 2, we need to go however, Weasley mentioned to us to ensure that along the way to Hogwarts,
Leviosa.
we're going to be
Accio.
Incendio. Associates are the main themes of the office.
Leviosa.
Rather unstable. We make our way to Hogwarts with the banders and also
Leviosa. Incendio. Accio.
I'm looking for a new mom. It's about time. Yes, about time. Well, you're our new fifth-year student, are you not? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you are. Gertrude Ollivander, the name. But of course, you'll have heard the Ollivanders, I'm sure. Finest winemakers in the world. It's a pleasure to meet you. Truly. Now, come with me. Let's find you the perfect one, shall we? No, not you. Yes. Half a core. 10.5 inches.
the first one that we tried. This is what it was, how we
Leviosa.
really squishy. Ollivander pulls out a second wand and we try that.
Looks like it's back to the shelf for you.
No, not this one either.
This is proving to be trickier than I had anticipated. Thanks, Tim. Where are you? Perhaps you? There you are. Yes, I think you might be the one.
Yeah. They did. But the third one. This was the power of the smoke the wand from the sire, purchase it from Ollivander's, and they put it outside.
Accio! Potato! Accio! Stupid! Levioso! Incendio! Accio! Potato! Stupid! Ludus! Levioso! Accio! Levioso! Incendio! Potato! Stupid!
We visit one of the locations to replace the things that were eaten by the dragon at the start of the game. Collect all of our bits.
It
And
is
now
a book
on to
after
Captain.
all.
However, suddenly, just as we move to the party, we hear a rumbling in the background. Catches our interest, so we go and investigate. However, suddenly, just as we meet up in the square of Hogsmeade, we hear a rumbling in the background, and suddenly, a troll comes out of nowhere and starts to attack the village of Hogsmeade.
Away from the building! Away from the building!
Then, a second one comes out of nowhere as well. What's going on here? All glowing like ramrod was in the folds. We finally take the trolls out. However, at the end, use of ancient magic from within us and completely destroy it. Here we need Officer Ruth Singer and to help with head of village, so we do this, and then reward ourselves in the best possible way for Hogwarts here. So what is the sticks of the real activities of the water here? However, as we walk into the pub, we come across James Rockwood, Katie, Rambler, Dark Alley,
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morgana, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor Bakar.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad, especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a fifth year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a fifth year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganock, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too, but we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The
whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morgana.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Let's take a test.